Hey Leo, Mariah here. I hope you guys are doing good today. I hope you guys are really, really well. So, of course, I want to look at what is it that you need to know at this time. So, let's talk and let's get into these cards. So, for Leo at this time, Spirit, what is it that Leo needs to know? We got the Six of Swords coming out for you. What else does Leo need to know at this time? What else does Leo need to know? Eight of Cups in the reverse. What else? The Five of Pentacles. I love that you're moving into calmer waters. Maybe you're moving out of a season of your life, or you've already moved out of that season of your life where there was some form of lack. Maybe you felt like you were emotionally deprived, or you weren't having your emotional needs met. Maybe we were struggling to get over something that could have happened in our past, whether it was a financial issue. Maybe we were emotionally abandoned, but now we're finding peace and solidarity within ourselves. Maybe our reality isn't fully structured in the way that we would want it, whether that is financially, whether that's with our stability, whether it's having the people in our life that can support us, like having a village, right? People we can go to. There's still some form of lack that you feel like you're having to travel this journey on your own to finding yourself, to finding your peace. Yes, some of you may have people in your corner, but the journey for you mentally, it feels like you're doing it alone, even if you're not alone in your reality. Tell me more. What else does Leo need to know at this time? The Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. And let's get one more. The Three of Swords in the reverse. Maybe some of you could have hit a financial setback, but I'm going to go a little bit broader than that. Knight of Swords in the reverse. It reminds me of, I'll give you two examples, work and love. If this is work related with all these pentacles, it's like coming into a new job or your existing job, and they hired you for a specific reason. Maybe it's what you bring, your value, your resume, what you have already gained and garnered in your career, and they feel that you would be a person who can bring value, who can maybe make the change. But it's like with you being in that role, they're micromanaging you. It's like they won't allow you to cook, not literally cook, but they won't allow you to be into your Leo groove, or allow you to make the changes, or allow you to implement things that you want to implement, not for your own personal gain, but to better the company, better the organization. It's like they brought you in, but then they still want things done a certain way or how they would like it. And if this isn't matters of love, this could be you being in a relationship or meeting somebody. And at first, it's great. They bring peace. It feels like you're leaving the past behind and you're moving on to calmer waters through this relationship. But as the relationship progresses, you may end up finding that your partner is trying to micromanage you. Even if it's not in the most overt ways, this can be in covert ways. It's like the things that they like or love about you, now they're starting to tweak those things. And I can understand, it reminds me of Virgo energy. I can understand their perspective. They're trying to come from a POV of constructive criticism, whether this is in love or work. But instead of it being constructive, it feels like it's oppressive. It feels like it's almost dimming your light, because the value that you bring and how you operate, it's like they're wanting to tweak that. Maybe they want you to fall in line with how they see fit for you, but that may not be in alignment with you. That may not be in alignment with your spirit. And it's almost triggering, if I take this back, because I like to go into the root of things. It's like almost triggering some type of wounding within yourself, where maybe you didn't feel good enough. Maybe you felt like you've had to keep proving yourself. Maybe you had to keep showing other people that you are worthy, right? This is those wounds that are within. This is what we have healed from, or we are healing from, and now this circumstance we find ourselves in is triggering those wounds of inadequacy, or not being good enough, or not feeling like you're being valued. Yet this person or this job or this business saw the value, but yet now they want to change how you bring the value. They want to change how you bring value into their life, or to that company, or to that business. And I think for you here, Leo, it's starting to get a little frustrating. Maybe you're contemplating, do I still want to be in this relationship if you can't accept me for who I am, but you want to tweak me, or you want to keep changing me, when at the beginning, you thought I was great, or we didn't have a problem with these things. Is this truly worth me being in if I have to suppress who I am, if I have to dim my light? Same thing in reference to work. I feel like it's triggering a wound subconsciously here for you. It's like you have value, you bring value. The Ten of Swords. But it's triggering to a past situation. I think here for you, Leo, you have outgrown these wounds. It's like, I refuse to let somebody make me feel inadequate. I refuse to let somebody make me feel that I'm not good enough, or I need to keep proving myself. I need to keep proving my worth. I need to keep taking on extra projects or extra duties, or I need to keep showing up for my partner and proving to them that I love them, or proving to them that I'm willing to be a team player, to make certain changes. It's like you're tired of tweaking yourself just to fit in, and you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. I've already healed from that. I don't want to repeat that. So what is this energy that's doing this to Leo? Tell me about this energy that's doing this to Leo. We have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. We have the Six of Cups, Ace of Wands, and last one, the Six of Wands in the reverse. It reminds me of somebody who feels like they're doing this out of, whether it's constructive criticism, or it's like they're able to see an aspect of you from their perspective. They're able to see an aspect of you that they feel like you don't see within yourself. It's like somebody being able to see your potential, or seeing how you can grow or develop as a person, but the way that they're going about it is triggering for you instead of being helpful. Even if it's a partner, they may feel like, Leo, I can see your potential, or I can see how great you can be if you just do this, or if you just tweak that, or if you just make changes here and there, or if you show up in the relationship in a different way. But for you, it's like you've already healed. And if you can't accept the way that I show up in this relationship, if you cannot accept the way that I show up in this job, then why am I here anyway? I feel like I can't strive. I can't succeed. I feel like I can't fully be confident in this position or in this space, because every time that I try to show my light, or I try to do things in a way that aligns with me and how I operate and how my soul moves, it's a problem. So there's like a point of contingency here. So tell me a little bit more about this person. How are they feeling towards Leo, right? So whether this is a job, I like to give both sides of the coin, because I know some people may be here for love. Some people may be here for career. Tell me more about this. We got the Five of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands in the reverse. This is reminding me of like, what's the phrase? Pressure makes diamonds. It's like somebody's trying to take on a role that it really isn't their role. It's like through their words or through their actions, it's like they're trying to develop you, grow you, but I don't think it's helpful. It almost feels more combative. It almost feels more disarming. It even with your nervous system. Because it's like, it feels like poking the bear. Leo, why don't you do this? Or Leo, you should change that. Or Leo, the way you did this isn't right. Maybe you need to do it this way. Or Leo, the way you show up in this relationship, I need this versus that. And it's like when you keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, it feels like a little bit more of parts of you, and parts of that light get dimmed and dimmed even more, which is creating internal conflict with you because you've already healed this wound. Maybe this wound goes back to your childhood with the Six of Cups here. Maybe it goes back into your early adult years. But it feels like you found yourself back in the same position that you've already healed from. It doesn't have to be the same job. It doesn't have to be the same person. But the circumstances is different, even if it is a new circumstance. So what should Leo do about this? Tell me. Oof. We got the Sun, Page of Swords in the reverse, and the Magician in the reverse. Why is this Magician in the reverse? Let's see. And the Star. I feel like this is something that you really saw high potential in, whether it's a relationship or a job. And it's like you're showing up to be the best that you can. You're showing up in that relationship, trying to be that light, still trying to persevere forward, still trying to hold your ground, but still be adaptable, still be moldable, still be a sponge. But every time you try to adapt, it's like you lose a little bit more of your light. You lose a little bit more of your fire. Spirit is asking you not to do that. If you have already worked through this wound and you find yourself currently in a position that is re-triggering that wound, even though it may be a new circumstance in comparison, Spirit is saying to really assess it and not just continue to go with the flow or continue to go to get along just to get along, but really ask if you're honoring yourself with the sun here. Because I do think a part of you psychologically, you know that you are above what you've already been through, but it feels like we're not honoring our full alignment by either sticking this out or dealing with it. It almost reminds me of you having like a, not to go off board here, off to the left, but like a side hustle or something that you're good at, something that you're creative at. It's whatever you've worked on outside of this wound that has brought healing, that has brought hope, that has brought light, something that you can dive into that feels like it rejuvenates your soul, it rejuvenates your spirit. So maybe this is something that you work on in your private time. Maybe this is things that you do when you're away from others, away from people or this person or this job. And then when you find yourself going back into that environment, whether the next day you go back into work or later that evening you're dealing with your partner, they're re-triggering that wound. It's like, okay, I just spent the day working on myself, feeling good, taking some time out for me, and then going back into work, here we go again with the same micromanaging. Here we go again with me not being able to do something right. Or back with the partner, here we go again, them critiquing me on this, that, and the other third, or micromanaging me, or trying to tweak who I am. It's like you try to get peace, you find peace, you're able to come back into alignment, and then you have to go back into the same environment that is re-triggering you or reopening up these wounds of inadequacy that you've already worked through. Tell me more. What is this person's motive, or what is this situation's motive? Whoa, I'm like dropping cards here, y'all. We got the Page of Cups. We have the Emperor. Oops, uh-oh. Let's get one more. Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to be straightforward. I don't necessarily think they have bad intentions, but this is somebody who feels like they're either more experienced than you. Maybe they feel like they know more than you. Maybe they feel like they have a better vantage point than you do of seeing where you can improve and how you can grow. But I think something's out of alignment because what somebody is projecting onto you and how they view you and how they view that you can be and where you can grow may not necessarily be what you want or how you need it, right? It's like we have to speak in a language that the other person can understand and not the way that we understand it. And I think the way that this person is going about it is in a way that they understand it, but for you, it's triggering, right? So if it is a relationship, they may be telling you certain things that they may feel are not best or beneficial for you or beneficial for y'all in the relationship. And I don't think they mean it with malice or harsh intentions, but the way they're going about it is not in a way that works for you. It's not in a way that you're grasping it. I think it's almost putting you on defense or putting you in a guarded mode versus them presenting it in a loving, understanding, empathetic way. It's like how they see fit is how you should be doing it. But how you see fit, again, you're adaptable, but it's not fit for how you are, how you operate in your personality. So you may be assessing here, Leo, do I even want to give more time, energy, and intention to this? Or am I ready to go off and just do my own thing? If this is in relation to work, you may feel like, you know what? I'm skillful, I'm talented, I got some hidden abilities that I know I can make money off of. I don't want to say it's that meme. It reminds me of like F this, I'm out, right? You may feel it not in a harsh way, but you know what? I'm going to bet on myself versus continuing in this role. Because if I feel like I have to keep being stifled, I can't grow, I can't do what I need to do, and I can't bring the value that y'all brought me in for because you keep micromanaging me or you keep tweaking how I go about things. If this is love, again, same respect. You may feel like, okay, yes, I love this person. I like this person. I'm into this person. But if I keep being tweaked or if there's constantly an issue that I'm having with this person, maybe I need to go on and do my own thing or open myself up to somebody that will value me as I am. Not to say, again, Leo, you're not open to change and being able to adapt or adjust certain things about you that may not be beneficial or healthy in a relationship or healthy in a job. But there is a certain limit to doing things in a way that is beneficial, that would help you and help that job or position or help you in that relationship versus somebody trying to control you. This is what this comes back down to. I think whomever this is, whether it's love or it's your career, somebody is in a position, or they feel like they're in a position of control, or they feel like they're in a position of authority. They feel like they're in a position of knowing better because of their experiences and what they've gone through. So it's like they're trying to lead you, they're trying to guide you, but I don't think it's in a way that's really helpful. So here we are. You may be assessing Seven of Wands. Hey, do I want to keep fighting for this job? Do I want to keep coming into work feeling micromanaged? Do I want to keep staying in this relationship and my partner is critiquing me or nitpicking at me, or no matter what I do, I can't get it right. No matter what I do, it's a problem. No matter what I do, there's always an issue. It's like, do I want to keep dealing with that when I've already worked through that wounding? When I've already been made to feel that way over my years? When I've already had people make me feel like I ain't good enough? When I already have people make me feel like I'm not worthy enough? Do I even want to continue to repeat this wound when I already know better? Yes, I think you can see the intention behind this, and I don't think you feel like they're ill-intended. I don't think you feel like they have malicious intent, but it's like it may be ego clash. It may be two people, or you in a situation that have two different viewpoints, and those 2 points may not be able to collide in the same world. So it may be either I stay in this and adapt, or you know what, I honor myself, I honor my growth, I honor my healing that I've done with these wounds of inadequacy, and I'm going to go and either start my own, because now I get to be in control, I get to dictate and run how I want to run things, or in a relationship, I need to either go do my own thing and honor myself, or be with somebody who sees my light and my growth and where I'm at, and not constantly try to tweak me or fix me or say what I'm not doing right or what I could be doing or how I can be doing better. What advice do you have here for Leo? Let's see. 8 of Swords in the reverse. What advice do you have here for Leo? King of Swords in the reverse. King of Pentacles, 9 of Wands in the reverse. I'm hearing the phrase honor thy mother, honor thy father. Originally I heard honor thy neighbor, but the actual phrase is honor thy mother, honor thy father. As a side message, maybe this is something that's coming up with you in a parental figure. Maybe there's an issue happening with that. This could be in reference to that, but I think on a broader scale, you're wanting to be out of your head. I think this is causing you mental conflict, and maybe a part of you is wanting to shut down. If you have been a Leo that has kind of, all right, let me bite the bullet, let me shut my tongue because this is my job or this is my work, or you know what, I love this person, I get their perspective, I know what they're trying to do, I don't take it as offense per se, but I'm having to bite the bullet so we can get along to get along. Spirit is telling you, you don't have to. There's too much value within you to play it small. There's too much value, there's too much potential, and there's too much light to adapt to other people's program that are just not in alignment with yours. So Spirit is saying, if this is in regards to work, take that idea, take that talent, take that hobby, take that business idea, take that plan, take that loan, take that resource, take that investment, and grow it. Because you don't have to be under somebody else's regimen or somebody else's authority, somebody else's determination to really shine and grow. You have everything you need within you. Spirit is telling you to take off the training wheels and fly. So if you got that side hustle, I'm not going to tell you to leave your 9 to 5, or whatever you're doing, but Spirit is saying you're going to have to start prioritizing energy from that job into your hustle and really flourishing and growing you, because those people or that job, they're not going to be there at the end of the day. Anything happens to you, they're going to move on, but you have to make sure that you are good. And even in relation to relationships, Spirit is saying that love, that healing, that growth that you've done, you working on yourself, you working through those woundings of feeling inadequacy or not good enough, or feeling like you're having to prove to others, or constantly having to validate your worth to a partner. You did the healing. There's no need for you to continue to torture yourself psychologically or mentally just to adapt, just to fit in the mold, just to keep that relationship. Spirit is saying you have more than enough value. Honor that. And if you do want somebody that was going to honor that, open up your doors for that person to find you, because they are out there. But whatever you're in right now, it feels like it's stifling for you mentally, psychologically, and you are feeling like you're wanting to give up on it. Spirit is saying, if that is how you're feeling, if it's causing you more mental conflict, more mental issue, more mental distress than need be, it's not worth the growth that you've done. Spirit does not want you to regress. Spirit does not want you to backtrack. Spirit does not want you to relive patterns that you have already broken and grown from. And it feels like you're in a situation that is making you relive those patterns that you've already healed from and that you know better. So Spirit is saying to do better with this King of Pentacles and choose you. Choose a new beginning for you. Oh, we're at 20 minutes. Let's get one round off. Let's see how this ends for Leo for the end of August. Ooh. We got the Page of Wands and then, the Nine of Pentacles. And the Queen of Wands on the bottom. There you go, Leo. So I feel like I ain't really need to tell you. So you already know this. See, when I get into these readings that you already know the answers. So I'd be like, why y'all got me doing this reading? Spirit, why you got me doing this? So you already know. I think by the end of August, either you're going to be transitioning out of that job or that career. Maybe not in full. You know, we got to be honest and realistic with life circumstances. We still got bills. We still got things we got to pay for. But I think you're really going to be watering a lot of the seeds that you want to plant so that way they can flourish later on. So that way you don't have to rely on that job. So that way you don't have to rely on that career path. You get to be in control, in charge of your future, how much money you make, or you get to be in control of how things are operating versus where you're at now. If this is in matters of love, you may find yourself, even if you're still staying in that relationship, you may find yourself giving more energy, time, and attention to you and honoring the healing that you've done for you, your blessings, your beginnings. And even for some of you, this is going to be some type of growth, whether it's in material gains. Maybe you're looking good, smelling good, spending more money on you, spa days, going out shopping, getting more attention. And through that, it's like perspective. Through that, you're going to realize, you know what? Maybe I don't need this job, or maybe I don't need this person. I am good. I feel good. And I don't want to relive anything that I've already healed from. And I see you doing your own thing. Yeah, 4 cups in there, 4 wands. I think Leo, you've already been through enough, and we have seen this journey over the last few years, at least with this channel, that you have truly outgrown being under somebody's thumb, or being under somebody's will, or being under somebody's opinion or their perspective. I think for you at the end of August, either you're leaving it behind, you're going single. If you stay in a relationship, you're focusing more on you versus your person. If it's a job or career, you're focusing on maybe starting your own, doing your own, or figuring out what is going to bring more success for you, that gives you the freedom to be you, that gives you the freedom to be able to make the changes you need to be able to make without being micromanaged, without being hyper focused on. And I see you thriving. So please, 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 whether it's starting that business, transitioning careers, whether it is getting that side hustle going and putting more time, energy, and money, you're going to have the finances to do so. So if you have been thinking about your money, if your money has been a little funny, you're going to have it by the end of August to invest in yourself. Even if it's investing in your looks with the Queen of Wands here. Whether it's taking care of yourself, getting some new clothes, doing some things that you want to do for you, you're doing that. But I see you leaving something behind. I kind of want to ask one more thing. With Leo focusing on themselves at the end of August, whoever this is that's an oppressive energy or micromanaging or hyper-focused on Leo, how are they going to feel about this as Leo goes on to do their own thing? We got the 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, 4 of Cups in the reverse, and one more. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Queen of Swords on the bottom in the reverse. This person's going to be thrown off by this behavior. I think whether it's a job or a romantic partner, maybe they have gotten used to you adapting, being moldable, being a sponge, taking their advice and adjusting and adapting to what they're telling you. That is getting ready to change, and I think that's going to confuse them or throw them off. Maybe you haven't been really communicating how they're making you feel. Maybe you haven't really spoke your heart or your mind in full. Again, I got the feeling of biting the bullet. So when you do make these changes at the end of the month that are going to be beneficial to you, they're going to feel like, okay, well, I've invested all this time and this energy into Leo. I've been trying to help Leo make these changes, and now all of a sudden they're not taking my word, or they're not finding value in my word anymore. They're wanting to do their own thing. I feel like Leo is becoming more quiet or not really speaking up anymore. It's like you're holding things to yourself, keeping your cards close to your chest so that way you can pivot, or that way you can put more of that energy into yourself, and they're going to feel and see the reduction of your energy into them, into that job, into that relationship, and it's going to confuse them. It's truly going to confuse them. I don't see them necessarily walking away or saying, hey, we need to let you go, Leo, or you know what, I don't want to be in this relationship or connection anymore. But I just see them being confused while you go on and do your thing. I really do. So Leo, I like this because at the end of the month, your money's going to be looking great. You're going to be putting a lot of focus on you, and whoever this is or whatever this is going to be confused as hell that you're switching up on them. But you aren't switching up. You're just honoring you. And they're not used to you honoring you and your voice and your needs and what you want for yourself. So I'm going to leave this here. I hope this has helped. Not to make this a long one, but I love y'all.